Let's get to know you a little bit better. Tell us a little bit about your background and what led to you writing this book.
Well, my story started with a panicked phone call from my younger sister when she found my father unconscious in his apartment. And when he came to in the hospital, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, moderate Alzheimer's disease. And because he lived alone, they would not let him take him home with us, and they sent him to a group home. He ended up getting caught up in the system. He knew he was too far advanced for what was going on, and he could not make his point come across to anyone. They wouldn't listen to him. And we were lobbying to get him home, but I didn't have power of attorney. So what ended up happening is he would, because he would act out, he would escape. He was very good at escaping, and every facility would then, after about the fifth escape, would send him to the next higher level of security. By the time he got to his fifth home, which was the most high-level secured facility in our area, he actually figured out how to unscrew the plate glass window in his room, pull it out, climb out the window in his pajamas and slippers, put the plate glass window back in, and go for a walk. Because all he wanted to do the whole time was just go for a walk, because he's very active. At that point, they called me 2 days before Christmas and said, you need to find another place for him. I was able to arrange in that amount of time, getting power of attorney, and then getting our home into whatever a dementia care home would look like, and I didn't know. And so then we brought him home, and his first question to me was, Tracy, I have Alzheimer's disease, not the plague. What does it take to be treated like a human being?
Wow.
That's what started this, and that's why I'm here. That's what caused me to write the book.
I love it.
Now, let's talk about wandering, because if you've ever looked at the Alzheimer's statistics, 6 out of 10 people with Alzheimer's disease will wander. This I got as a tip from the Alzheimer's Association, and it saved my bacon. The first time my father wandered off from my own house before we addressed the need that was causing the wandering, he'd been wearing the same clothes for 3 days, and when he disappeared, I couldn't tell you what he was wearing. Mine went blank. I didn't even call 911. I couldn't describe him, and they said that I needed to search for him first before they would even bother helping, because they were too understaffed. So I was like, oh God, how am I going to happen? My neighbors turned out and helped me find him. So I went on the Alzheimer's Association's website, found out that I could take a daily photo, and I put it into a routine for us where it also included changing clothes, bathing, and having an activity in the evening for sundowners. What we ended up doing is in the evening when he would start sundowning, I would ask him to help me wrap a present for a friend. We would wrap this present. It would actually have a pair of his clothes in it. He never saw it. He just would help me wrap it. It didn't matter that the wrapping was not artistic. It was wherever he could get stuff on there, he connected it. The next morning, I would put that on his pillow. He would come in after breakfast, and he would find that, and he'd be so excited, because also in there would be a note that I recycled from family members telling him about this gift they gave him. He would get so excited about this gift, he'd put on the new clothes, and I would take a picture that I was going to send to the person that gave him the clothing so that they would see what he was wearing, and I could have my daily photo. This became a routine for us. It worked really well, and also it helped me bathe and wash his laundry. And then I had multiple outfits that were the exact same thing. I would just go on and buy like 5 or 6 tops, so that when he lost something and someone came in and stole it, I would be the hero because I could find it. And even though I didn't find it, I got him a new one. So it's one of those things, you work it into their routine. It makes it easier. For you, you don't have a lot of stress. Your family member is occupied. So we were able to get the loved one's photo in there. And we had fun. We played. He would joke around and pretend he was like some model and do stuff for me. It was a lot of fun. We made it fun.
I tell you, Tracy, I hate to interrupt you here, but myself, Carol, Lynn, that is probably one of the best ideas that I've ever heard as a caregiver with cognitive impairment. But, let's think about that. There's probably a lot of people that are parents and grandparents in the audience. Imagine doing that with your kid. I could see a little child also getting excited about, like let's say you can't get your kid to change clothes, you do this wrapping of it, and oh my, what a great idea! And what a way to make it special. And I love sharing the photos with the network. Everything about that tip is just amazing. Great. Wow.
And just a quick blurb on the book. The book is the same way. It's a toolbox. You use the tools when you need them, and that really outrageous table of contents is actually 8 pages long. You can run your finger down it and scan looking for the exact item you want and turn to that page. You do not have to search. So because it's living through that stress and knowing, before I knew how to do any of these things, and just going crazy and trying to find something in a book somewhere, remembering I read it 3 days ago, but I couldn't figure out which book it was, and then I'd find it 2 weeks later. I wanted it all in one spot where people don't have to go through what we went through. So that was part of that.
I love it.